Okay, this is a quick index. You can glance down, see the sort of things we're going to cover. I explained a moment ago that it's going to be in sort of two sections so we can absorb at the pace we want to absorb. There'll be a chance for questions halfway through. And I always say if there's a slide that takes your attention and you want to give it more thought later, take a screenshot. So make sure you know how to do a screenshot, and then you can go back to whatever it is. So, Basecamp, LMS. Not quite sure how they're different. It's sort of two names for the same thing. It's a lot of the old favourites are still there. They're just slightly different looks, so we need to just be aware of where to find everything. How do you get to it? As per usual, go into the Toastmasters International website. There's a password reset. If you've not been into the old Basecamp for a long time and you've forgotten your password, you can reset as long as you know the email you used or your Toastmasters membership number. So that's much the same. When you open up, you will be given this screen. Here's Basecamp. And over on the left, I've pointed out there's where you go to choose your path. So if you are a very new member, you would go there to actually choose which path you want. There's a questionnaire which helps you decide. I found it didn't help me. I didn't follow that advice. I took my own choice. But that's where you go. And if you're getting a second path, that's there. But we're not interested in that. We're going into Basecamp. And straight away, there are all our pathways. None of this finding paths and learning and trying to sort out which one you should go to and, oh, look, there's all the evaluations and it's all confusing. There are your pathways, nice and easy, and you can click on whichever one you want to work on in particular. Many of you will have only one. I've been in Toastmasters for a few years, so I've got a few things up there. Further down, so I'm scrolling down now, are pathways I've completed or other things that I've completed. So if you might think, oh, my pathway's not there, scroll down, it will be there somewhere. Now, back up to the top, let me move this down here for the moment. Back to the first screen, because there's a couple of things I want to point out. If you are a club officer, this option, Basecamp Manager, will be available to you. If you're not a club officer, it won't. It used to only be VPEs, presidents and secretaries that were Basecamp managers. Now it's all 7 officers. So be aware of that. That's where you enter Basecamp Manager. But if you're not a manager, forget all that and just concentrate on the paths and learning bit. There are 4 tabs across here: paths and learning, achievements, feedback, resources. I will go through each of them, some of them very briefly. Paths and learning is where it mostly happens. And you get into that, click on the path you want to open up, and it will take you to this. An overview, as you would expect, of that pathway. 5 levels. If you're new to Toastmasters, every path has 5 levels. And you can, of course, click on any level to expand it. So let's have a look at level 1. Most of you are familiar with these 4 projects, one of which contains 2 speeches, so it's 5 speeches in all. And you can click on any one of them for more info. We'll do that in a minute. But I just want to show you that when you have completed a project and ticked it all off on here, I'll show you how to do that, you get a green tick. So you can instantly see what you've done and what you've still got to do. Now, everyone is being advised to go into their Basecamp and check that everything they expect to be ticked off is ticked off. I've already found a couple of things where I hadn't completed the whole level. I'd just done one project, and the new Basecamp didn't seem to be aware of it. So I didn't have to do the project again, thank goodness, but I had to go through and tick it all off. So make sure your Basecamp matches your expectations. And I will say at this stage, there seems to be a glitch with level 5. If you've submitted a level 5 recently, you may have had the email saying it's been approved and it's all fine, but it is not appearing on the dashboard. That's being looked into, but there's quite a few cases now that are being logged, and there's a discrepancy. So check your Basecamp out and make sure it's got everything you want. Okay, let's go into the icebreaker. As before, there's loads of information and help and support and resources. On the left-hand side, there is a list that you can jump to different places. It used to be a drop-down arrow underneath. It's now on the left side. So if you're looking for something in particular, just go down there. I'm not going to go through everything, but I will highlight one or two new things. This is new. Assess and reflect. So you can put in what you know, and then you can put in what you want to know about. This is not obligatory. You can do it or you can leave it. So it's a nice record of, if you look back, where you were, what you wanted to know, and whether you've achieved it. There's a list of PDF files, one of which is printing the entire Icebreaker project. So if you really like to have your hard copy, you can do that. There's a project checklist which pops up anyway, as we'll see in a minute, when you complete your project. Evaluation resource, several ways of accessing evaluations. This is one of them. We'll look at others a bit later. And an outline worksheet. So everything you could want is there. So you've done your icebreaker. You want to tick the project off. So you find complete your assignment off on the left-hand bit, and up pops a checklist. Go through, make sure you have done everything. You've probably given your speech by now, but if you're looking at this beforehand, you know what to do, and then you can scroll down. It invites you to put your speech details in. Again, this is not obligatory. If you don't do it, doesn't mean you don't get your project ticked off, but I would advise you to do it. It's a really useful record of your speech title and date, your evaluator, and so on, and we'll see where that is in your Basecamp a bit later. So I'd urge you to do that. I know you say, but Easy Speak's got all my details, but it's good for Basecamp to have it as well. So when you're ready, when you've done everything, you click complete your project. It gets you to double think, have you really done everything? And then you confirm. Each level has a different number of projects. Level 1 has 4 projects. When you have done all 4 of them, you can submit your whole level. So let's have a quick look at that. So level 5 completion. Now I tried to do this and something wasn't ticked off. So if you get this red band pop up saying completion of all projects in this level is required, it means you've not done something. Go back, make sure everything's ticked, and then have another go. And then you should not get a red bar. Be aware, as in the old system, you can choose which club you submit your level to. And rather than having to go into that club at the Basecamp level, you get the option at the submission level. Much easier to make a decision. Sometimes you submit a level and you think, oh, what club was I in? I've done it to the wrong club. This now will make you think. So perhaps speak to the VPE if you're in 2 clubs. Which club needs your level most? So choose your club, click submit, and you get confirmation that you have actually submitted your level. You don't need to do anything more now. The VPE and now in the committee will get an email saying that you've submitted your level and could they approve it. If you are not a VPE, if you do not know exactly what's involved in submitting levels, ignore those emails, please. Don't fiddle around and click things that perhaps shouldn't be clicked. Okay, let's have a look at the Achievements tab now. This is the second one along. We've been in Paths and Learning up till now. So a quick look at Achievements and woo, lots of badges. And if you look along, this is one pathway I've completed. Each badge, the little yellow ring, is a little bit further round until on level 5, it's the whole way round, showing you've done the entire pathway. However, the next one down, I'm only on level 3 at the moment. So that's quite nice. And if you scroll down further, you can share these badges. Ooh, exciting. I've already done it. Try it. So when I did my level 5 for visionary communication, which I've only just done, I clicked on share just to experiment. You get a choice of LinkedIn or Facebook, but you can copy the address and send it wherever you like, really. I did it on Facebook. Most of my friends went, what's this? What's this all about? But a few of my Toastmaster friends went, oh, that's neat. That's neat. So be aware, you can share these badges. Further down under achievements, here is my speech log. I've only filled in 2 speeches because I've only done 2 since the new Basecamp, but eventually I will have a log of all the speeches I've done since Basecamp changed. Here also will be my certificates, and we'll come back to that a little bit later for Basecamp managers, where you can find and print certificates for your members should you wish. So your certificates are under your achievements, under all your badges, just scroll down, and also your speech log. Also in achievements, you can share your badges. This is one that someone sent me. We've been playing around in our club with these badges, sending them to each other, seeing what it looks like. And it's lovely to go on your feedback and think, oh, a badge has popped up saying I'm absolutely wonderful. It's quite heartening. So start using them and you can share those as well. And okay, let's have a look at feedback. There'll be more on badges there, how to send them to others. Feedback is broken down into 2 bits. We're on the 3rd one now. There's member feedback and evaluation feedback. Member feedback is, I think, a new thing. I don't think there was anything like it on Basecamp. You can request feedback from anyone in your club, really. Now, I would perhaps urge caution using this, because if everybody in the club is bombarded with requests for feedback, we're all going to implode. So be thoughtful in how you use this. But if you really want feedback on a particular thing and you know someone in the club is very good at that, then you can select a club. I think you can only select the clubs you belong to. I haven't actually experimented that. Select the member and say what you would like feedback on. Say, could you hear me at the back of the room? I noticed you were sitting at the back. Was I loud enough? You can also give member feedback. That's much more fun. There's a variety of badges: courageous, innovative, collaborative, inspiring. And also, I was pleased to see the feedback on roles. So I've tried to use that. Each time after a club meeting, I always give feedback to several members who've done really well in their roles, especially if they've done it for the first time. And now I can use the badges. You select the club, select the member, and you can give some written feedback as well. So just, you know, well done on being Table Topics Master last night. Thought you were brilliant. So try using those. They're good fun. Good fun. And as I say, when I went to my feedback, I found feedback. And it's really pumps you up, makes you feel good, and makes you feel you can actually do these things. Evaluation feedback. No surprise here. Here are all your evaluation feedbacks. Don't forget they are in each project, but here you can find all of them. And note there's two little badges here. One is sort of got a little edit pencil by it, and one has got a share one. And if you click on the edit one, then you can fill out the form pretty much as it was before. General comments. I'd like to redesign this, but that's way above my pay grade, but it's okay. What they excelled at, what they want to work at, what they can challenge themselves. I'd like to finish with a bit of overall praise, really. And you can also send it to them. Now, I tried to do this. I evaluated somebody on Thursday, and when I tried to use this, their name did not appear in the club list of members. And I've noticed this in other places as well. Whether it's because they've not yet logged on to Basecamp or there's another reason, I'm not sure. But not all the members were listed. Something to keep an eye on and look into. And you can also send your evaluation form to your evaluator. So if you're a proactive speaker, you can go in here, find out who your evaluator is, send them, and you could put, it's saying, please provide feedback on my recent speech. This is obviously done after the speech, but if you do it before the speech, you could put in there what you would like them to look at. So hopefully it will improve our evaluation communication. I've always felt that's a huge weak spot, certainly in the clubs I belong to. I very rarely get an actual form back. I'm quite good at doing them myself, but this perhaps will get us to be more on top of things. Resources. Toastmaster has a lot. So many that I'm only going to touch on it lightly. There's obviously all the evaluations. There's lots and lots of help resources here. My tip would be to use these categories and narrow it down. So project resources, project descriptions, that's often quite useful. Evaluation, of course. Translated, presumably that's if you're using a different language and would like them in another language. So choose the category and then you can choose your subcategory, level ones, whatever is broken down, because otherwise there's so much there you will drown. But anything you want is there. How to become Prime Minister, how to make a fortune selling paper bags, anything you want. You'll find it somewhere in resources. Now, that completes the members view of Basecamp. So I'm going to stop sharing for a minute and it's your chance to ask questions. If you have no interest in the Basecamp manager at the moment, if you've only been with Toastmasters fairly recently and you're a new member, you're welcome to fade. There's no obligation to stay here till the end, but ask your questions first and then I'll pick up and go to Basecamp. Right, you can either just shout out or put your hand up. Oh, hello, Mo. Nice to see you down there. Lots of faces and names that I know. Any questions so far? Oh, I love Andrew Jones's Welsh background with the red dragon. So good.
I put one in the chat, or a couple in the chat, Julie.
Right, I haven't looked at the chat. Let's have a quick chat here. Can we add speech titles retrospectively? I haven't explored that. My guess is yes. It's your log, so I don't see why you can't go back to it and edit it. You certainly can in Easy Speak, but that's obviously a different platform. Ah, okay. Evaluations you've downloaded, can they go back up? That's an interesting one. I would think yes, but I don't know. Anyone else here know the answer to that? Can you upload evaluations that were done before the new Basecamp that you saved? Okay, I'll try and find out the answer to that. Andrew, you've got your hand up.
Uh, yeah, you didn't show us when you were in the left-hand tab, I think it was called Paths and Learning, where the actual resources are for each project. Are they there?
Yes, for each project, they appear in a list on the left. I said I wouldn't go through them all because it's just so much. But if you look on the left hand, I only picked out one or two things of interest. There's all the resources that were in the old system, and you can go to them and use them. And you can print the entire thing out if you want it all in print version. So you go, do you want me to go back to the, when I start again, I'll quickly go back to that one and show you where they are, just listed on the left, because I said that at first. Where'd you go? You know, how'd you go? How'd you find this? How'd you find that?
That's great, thank you.
Okay. Okay, yes, Smeeta's saying they probably haven't enrolled in pathways, the ones who aren't appearing. It's possible. That used to be on the old system. If they didn't appear on the list, they wouldn't, yeah, and hadn't registered a pathway, they wouldn't appear in the club list. However, I know for a fact there are at least one or two people who have been around quite a while, have definitely got pathways opened and started. So still not sure why some members are missing from that list. Okay, there's no other questions on the chat. Any other hands up? If not, I will press on and do the Basecamp bit. If you a new person and you've taken in as much as you can, you're welcome to fade. There's no obligation to stay. Right. Share screen again. Okay. Basecamp manager. So many people are Basecamp managers now. It's unbelievable. But I mentioned earlier, please, if you get these submission requests, don't just go click merrily away. Oh, done that. That'll save someone a job. VPEs have been trained. There's not only the speeches to check on, but maybe roles that have to be done for that level and other things. So we've now gone into Basecamp Manager. Remember, it's up here on the top. It's not very prominent, so you need to know where to find it. Click on there and you get this up. And again, you've got 4 tabs at the top. So I'm in Paths and Learning at the moment. And we go to the Basecamp Manager dashboard. Now there are 4 tabs. I was going to say they're the same 4 tabs. These are the Basecamp Manager tabs. Approvals is your first one. You will get an email if somebody submits a level, so you don't have to keep checking. When that happens, go to your Basecamp Manager, approvals, and there they will pop up. I didn't have any popped up to do a photo screenshot of, so I pinched this from an earlier how to use the Basecamp thing. So I don't know who these people are. I'm guessing they are made up. And then you go to the name of the person it is, and it says approve or deny. And it reminds you up here that you need to compare the member's speech history to the requirements, and it doesn't actually say their roles, but some roles are obligatory as well. VPEs know this. If that's all been met, if they've done all their speeches, you can check on Easy Speak that they've actually done the speeches, then you can click approve. If something is not done, some of the higher levels demand 360-degree feedback from other members. If that's not been provided to you, then you can deny. And it doesn't mean they can't ever do that. They just have to go away and do the bits that are not yet completed. So approve it. And then we come to the second tab, Member Overview. This is brilliant. You can immediately see the highest level that any member has achieved at the moment. So this person at the top has done Motivational Strategies Level 3, and they have actually completed a whole path. That's their highest achievement ever. And other paths here that they may have completed are also listed. So this is quite useful for VPEs, Member Overview. Paths in progress, also really useful. You can see, I've not bothered to block out my name or my husband's, he doesn't usually complain about much. But you can see straight away the club member, what path they're doing, exactly where they are. The green ticks mean they've done those levels. So really useful stuff to see at an overview. Recent activity, again, I didn't have anything on mine to screenshot. This is taken from one of the first PowerPoints on Basecamp, and presumably these names are made up. I don't know any Dorians or Ericas, but I'm hoping that's nobody. Yeah, really useful stuff for VPEs. You're empowered, you can see things at a glance, and you know where to go. Now, I was very anxious to find out. On the old system, I found a way, and it took me 6 months to find that, how to get into someone's Basecamp. So when they say, I've submitted my level, but nothing's happened, or I can't submit my level, you can go into their Basecamp and see exactly what is going on. And I'm pleased that you can do this on the new system as well. What you do from the Basecamp Manager dashboard, you go to your name and click the little arrow, and you go to My Clubs. Okay, so click your name, drop down things, click on My Clubs. And now this is interesting. I'm only a club officer for one of these clubs, and yet I seem to have access to both of them. I haven't had too much of a poke around, but it's another flag that perhaps needs raising and looked into. But certainly I'm a club officer for Lewisham, so I can click on any member. And again, here I found some members not showing. So if you're a Basecamp manager, go into your club, see who's there and who's not. I still can't give you a definitive answer for why everyone is not there, but it's something to look into and try and find out more. So if you click on one person, you're going into their profile and you get 3 choices. About tells you an awful lot. I haven't looked into interests and so on. I'm quite intrigued by that. But going down further, so scrolling down for this, there's meeting roles. That seems to be something they enter themselves, because I know for a fact this person has never done our counter, because we don't use that in our clubs. Interesting. But if you scroll down, you get actually into their Basecamp. So you can click on one of their pathways or whatever they're doing, and you can see this overview that you can see in your own Basecamp. So if they've submitted level 3, or they say they can't submit level 3, you look at this and you can say, well, you've only ticked off one project. You've got to go back and do the other 2, providing you've actually done them. Sorry, level 3. Yeah. So really useful. I was so pleased, and that is thanks to someone called Ryan. I was visiting my sister in hospital this morning, and I read a quick WhatsApp while I was grabbing a cup of coffee, and he'd said he'd found out how to do it, because I've been asking people, and I was so excited. I wanted to rush home before I'd even seen my sister, but I managed to calm myself down and then had a horrendous journey home on the motorway. So I've been doing this in a little bit of a rush, but it's hopefully there. Still under achievements, on the Basecamp Manager, you can see all their achievements and any feedback badges they've been awarded. Don't know how useful that will be. And yeah, you can actually look at the feedback and see, you know, so, oh, that's nice. So and so said something really nice about them, and it you know, bucks everybody up. So we'll stop for more questions in a minute. In conclusion, go and explore. Hopefully this has whetted your appetite and you've either taken some screenshots or made a few notes of places you want to go. Hopefully it's shone a light into dark corners, as I said to someone the other day when they asked what it was all about. A few areas that perhaps you haven't yet found. I'm still learning. I am no expert, but I'm beginning to build up my knowledge. Please tell me anything I've not covered and you know about. Make sure you check your own Basecamp. Is anything missing? Are all the projects ticked off that you expected to be ticked off? And particularly if you've submitted a level 5 recently, has that shown up on the dashboard, the district dashboard? Because they don't seem to be at the moment. It is being looked into, but the more ammunition, the more people say, hey, it's not there either, then they've got more ammunition to go up to whoever sorts this out and say there is a problem. And club officers, please go and explore Basecamp. Even if you're not a VPE, even if you're unlikely to use this, I'm sure membership management would like to see, you know, who's got going on Basecamp, who's got going on in their pathway and how they're going. So yeah, go have a look, dig around, be proactive. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing now and we can either share knowledge or you can quiz me for something I may or may not know. Andrew, you've got your hand up.
Thanks, Julie. First of all, thanks a lot for doing this. I've learned a lot.
Good.
Can you tell me where you got to the camp manager portion of Pathways? I did not see that.
It's really easy. When you go into your own Basecamp, if you're a Basecamp manager, it appears top right. Basecamp
Okay.
manager.
Okay,
It's as
great.
simple as that. If you can't find it, I will put the screen up that actually sort of
I'm sure
shows
I'll be able to find it.
it's just you need to be aware of it. That's why I did a little arrow, because you know, you think, where is it? Where is it? But it's there. Really easy, but it's
Right.
not particularly large or highlighted in a color or anything. So once you found it, you're away.
Awesome. Thank you. And one other quick comment.
Yeah, ask away.
I just have a comment that since now all officers are base camp managers, you in your clubs need to have, I believe, need to have clear guidelines as to who is to access base camp and who is to absolutely positively stay out, because you can mess things up by mucking about. And yes, go. I agree with you. Go. What you said, Julie. Go explore, but also make sure you touch nothing while you were exploring.
Couldn't agree more, Andrew. I've said a couple of times, if you're not a VPE, leave it alone. However, quite often ex-VPEs hold other roles. So if the VPE knows that, I'm an ex-VPE, I'm a secretary this time round. So the VPE knows that if they're on holiday, they could say to me, can you take care of any level completions, level submissions? But yes, very good rule. Please do not poke around and approve things. Otherwise, we're all going to end up with 6 pathways all completed, and we won't have done it all.
Julie, just to let you know, there's a question by Lucinda in the chat.
Okay. Right.
Can you confirm that once a level has been approved, it
Hang on,
then
hang on.
goes automatically to the
Down.
district dashboard?
Ah, yes. I didn't emphasize that. It's a big thing's been made of it. Once the VPE has done that submission, that is it. It automatically goes to Club Central, you do not need to do a second step as used to be done in the old Basecamp. That's really useful because so many VPEs forgot it, especially if they'd been out of the loop for a bit, if they'd not been VPE for a year, and they'd say, but I submitted it. And I said, did you do the second step? And they'd go, no, I forgot. Now you don't have to worry. Just that one submit and you're away. So yes, thank you for that. I didn't make a big point of that. Can you undo approvals? Ho ho. No is the short answer. We had someone approved sort of accidentally. So, you know, the VP was just experimenting. Can you do this in Club Central if they done this? And suddenly someone had been awarded a level and they hadn't done everything. We tried to get it undone and we couldn't. I think it can if Toastmasters dismantles the entire system, but they're not going to do that for one person. So we had to not put pressure, but we had to encourage this poor person to do the roles and the speeches that they hadn't yet done. Got done in the end, but for a while it was a bit, what do we do about this? So I think the short answer is no. So you need to be really sure when you hit that approve button that they have done all the speeches, they have done all the roles. For level 3, they must have been Toastmaster of the evening. We all know level 1, you must be an evaluator. And I always say level 2, table topics master. That's actually not essential until level 3. It's one of the 3 roles you must have done for level 3. I say just get it done in level 2. But yes, the VPEs know this. This is what they go through in their COT training and they learn this. Anyone else probably doesn't have the knowledge. Anyone found out anything that I didn't cover? Have they found out any little tips and tricks that I've not yet discovered?
Maybe slight.
Lucy, if I can only add that Lucinda seems to feel the need to upload her evaluations that
Yes,
she
yes, we are.
downloaded.
Is that
But-
possible? Do you know, Smita?
No, so when I went for another person and checked their evaluations, they were automatically there and uploaded. So I don't know why Lucinda's evaluations are not already there, because when they moved to the new system, she should have seen her evaluations. So I might call her tomorrow, or if you could call Lucinda just to check how it was, because in one of my clubs, the evaluation attachments or whatever that were in the old Basecamp are still there.
Okay, Smita, thank you. I will check. I'll do another double check
Great.
against my own, and I'll message you if they're there. Then you needn't call me.
Thank you. But Lucy, this is wonderful. This is so spot on. This recording is something that I think every Toastmaster in District 91 needs to see. Very well articulated, the whole training today.
Good. We're all learning together, so we need to share knowledge, share anything we find, and particularly share any hiccups. So I've mentioned a few today, not all of the members being in the club list. Don't know what's going on there. And slowly we will iron out any problems. Mostly it's a good system and it seems to work. I love the badges. I love being able to give people feedback straight after a meeting. That's really good. And of course we will build up badges in our own feedback depository. So yeah, it's mostly good, I think. Not too many grumbles. Anyone else got any grumbles? Or anything they found isn't smooth, doesn't come forward easily? Where are you, by the way, Smeeta? You're travelling along somewhere. I hope you're not driving.
No, I'm not. I'm in an Uber all the way from King's Cross all the way back home.
Okay. Rizvana, you've got your hand up.
Yes, Julie, I wondered if you could just cover where, do you remember there was a list where if you've fulfilled a functional role, there was a section where you could put on there, on this date I did table topics, on this date I was
Yes.
grammarian. Is that in Basecamp as well?
Yeah. Oh, It was under achievements, and it was under the achievements when I looked into someone's Basecamp, and it said that it was roles they had themselves listed, but I know for a fact that person had not done some of the roles. Where do you list your own roles that you've done? I can't give you an answer off the top of my head. I'm sure it's there somewhere. So it'll be in your own Basecamp. Rob, but no, it wouldn't be in each project, would it? Because that's an interesting one, Rizvana. I'll have a look, see if I can find an answer. Oh, are you on mute? Yes, you're muted.
On Easy Speak, we can put that information in, but I did remember seeing in the old system you could do that similarly. But I thought maybe in the new Basecamp as well, there must be a
I think there must
function.
be, because when I look in a member's Basecamp, there's a list of roles they've supposedly done. So you must be able to do it. I didn't used to do it on the old Basecamp. I did once or twice and then I forgot, and then I thought, does anybody ever look at this? Probably not. So I stopped doing it on the old system. I don't know how valuable it is. Mostly what you put into Basecamp is for your own record. So yeah, it's interesting to look back when you were evaluated, but as you say, Easy Speak also records the same information. But we must remember, those of you who are not aware, Easy Speak and Basecamp are not friends. They don't share information, they don't talk to each other. So anything you put in one does not appear in the other. My advice is keep your speech logs updated on Basecamp. They'll automatically happen on Easy Speak. And roles, up to you. Have a think whether you want a record of your roles or you're not bothered. Nadia, you've got your hand up.
I just wanted to add to Rizwan's question. Yes, you can add the roles, and the difference between
Okay.
this version and the last version is in the last version, the Basecamp managers can add it for you as much as the member. In this version, it's only the member that can add it. But the good news
Okay.
is, in the last version, say if you were Toastmaster of the day twice and you added the date, you can only see the last one. Here, you can actually see each date you add, but it's very much dependent on the member who has to do it. The Basecamp managers or any of the club officers cannot. I mean,
Where do you record it? Is it in each project or somewhere separate?
it's separate. So, you know, the PDF that you've sent everybody is actually clearly written there, but keep talking and I'll just look at it and remind myself where it is, because I just forgot, but I have.
Okay. Yes, I was pretty sure you could do it. Nice to know. Particularly if you like keeping records yourself. Some people really like a good record. It's like the I want to know and I already feel I know bit. Interesting to look back on, especially in a year's time when you're a bit more experienced and you look back and you think, oh, I really, didn't know what I was doing then, but now I do. So it's good. Someone else had a hand up as well. Smita? Oh,
Yeah,
and
thank you, Julie. Just to say that you can't record the random roles some clubs have, like Hawk Master or Joke Master or those kinds, but the key Toastmaster roles are easy to record. And I think they're going to make some addendum change where you could add some different roles that the club Basecamp manager can customize depending on the club that it is.
okay, that's
So
good.
that's going to be coming in the future. But right now you can do our counter, the tag roles, the timer, our counter grammarian. You can do the Toastmaster of the day. You could do the table topic master. Table topic evaluator, I don't think is there because I tried to put it and it didn't work. So there's certain things that will be coming as addendums, but we won't, fortunately, it'll just be add-ons. So we don't have to kind of lose Basecamp ever.
Okay, thank you, Smita. I didn't know that. There's, I'm sure, going to be a lot that's added in bits and pieces and improved and so on. So we'll just keep updating everybody as and when. Nadia, you've got your hand up again. I meant to say before you went away that I thank you for your help this afternoon, even though it panicked me. But it was helpful stuff, and we got there in the end. So Nadia,
So this is it. If you go under your profile, and on your profile, this is my profile, there's a little pencil here. If one goes on it, that's how you add the role. You have a choice, and there's only selected
okay.
choices, as Smita said. And then you put the role in, and then you put the date. And as you can see, you can then see here when I did which role. But if there are other roles like table topic evaluator, you will not see it. So it's under
So
profile,
this
meeting
is sort of
roles.
on your profile because it's not
Yes.
right.
Right.
Okay,
But if I come back
haven't
here and I'll
swapped.
go
Yes,
into
yeah,
my
got it,
profile,
got it.
you know where you saw interest social media, there's one that's meeting roles. And you need to use the pen to edit. As I said, you
Yes,
can add them in and you'll see the dates.
that's brilliant. Thank you, Nadia. I did not know about that, and I will explore my own profile. I just assumed it had standard stuff in, so I didn't go and have a look. So brilliant, good. We're learning so much, and this is how we need to keep going. Every time somebody finds out something, spread the word. Okay, we're into the sort of last sort of 7 or 8 minutes. So have a think. Are there questions you still have? Can't see any. Let's have a look. Yeah, someone's dropping off. That's fine. These aren't sessions where you have to do the complete hour because you registered. Stay until you've got the information you want, and then you're welcome to fade. It's Sunday. Let's do Sunday stuff as well. But those who want to stay and chat further, I'm here till 5 at least, till 6. And I'm happy to answer any questions or learn anything you've found out. I've
Sorry,
already learned stuff.
Sorry, Julie, I just need to put the evaluation in the chat. Okay, so if people could just bear with me and please fill in the seminar evaluation link before you drop off.
Hey
Thank you.
guys, be
Thank you.
very kind if you could do that. Every Sunday, if you're not aware, there is something. I'm so cross I missed last Sunday because it was the I forget what you call it, but they're putting images into a poster type of thing. Not capture. Is it capture? I'm really
Canva.
cross I missed that. But
Canva.
get in the habit of looking what's on each Sunday. It's you know, usually interesting stuff. I'm doing another one December the 1st, I believe, and it's on a panel discussion on DTM. So if anyone's interested in DTM, I'm just beginning to look at that. So I've assembled a panel of DTMs that I'm going to grill, and you can grill them too. So bear that in mind. But look each Sunday, there's always something good on. So don't forget to fill in the feedback if you could. I can't see any other questions in the chat. So we're pretty much done. But as I say, I'll stay here till 6, so we've got another 5 minutes or so if anyone wants to chat, ask questions or whatever. But go explore, go use those badges, go send badges to your club members after each meeting. Say, you know, well done for this. We've had great fun in our club, and I'm sure eventually they'll get to a point where, okay, let's calm it down now a bit. You want them to be special, but we're experimenting at the moment, and it's good fun. And it's making everybody feel good.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. I have put the feedback form in the chat. Please
Yes,
click
I
and fill
can
it
see
in.
it. And
Hopefully it works.
thank you, Rizvana, for being Zoom master. You are a good Zoom master.
Thank you, Julie. Andrew Garner's got his hands up.
Andrew.
Thank you very much. Julie, what was I going to ask you about? Oh, if someone sends a member a feedback badge or something like that, a badge of some sort, how do they find out that they have it? Do they get a notification? Do they get an email? or is it just there
You
until
do,
they go
you do,
looking?
you do get an email. I got an email saying a member has sent you a badge, sort of thing.
Oh,
And then
good.
it prompts you to go to your Basecamp and look under feedback, and there it pops up. It's quite exciting, quite good fun as
Nice.
well. So yes, you
I,
do get an email.
That's wonderful. And one thing I wanted to answer Lucinda's question, she said it'd be good if you announced when the recording goes live on YouTube, so we were prompted to share. If you subscribe to the District 91 YouTube channel, you will get a notification of new uploads, and then you can find out. Then you can share them with your wider club world, or in my case, as a area director with my clubs in my area.
Okay, good,
But
good,
you
good.
must, but you also must click on the bell icon in YouTube on the district website, district not website, sorry, YouTube site. And there's three choices. One's personalized. I don't know what that does. Doesn't seem to do much for me ever. But there is one choice that says all. So then you will get all messages, any posts that are posted on our YouTube channel, and also if, for example, if for some reason someone from the district goes live, does a live thing, you will also get those. But I haven't seen that happen on, but
I've
definitely
not
would
been
happen.
on YouTube myself, to my knowledge.